Jake fell in love with Shirley at the very moment he saw her for the first time. Shirley recently joined the team at BII Sports World, where Jake had been working for almost a year now. For Jake, it was love at first sight, but it wasn't his best first impression in front of Shirley. Sorry. It's okay. Jake was the best and most trained employee at BII Sports World. He had expertise on tons of different sports, from basketball to ice skating, and knew all the equipment. But Jake also had a weakness: beautiful young women. But his world shifted when he saw Shirley. Seeing the hanky-panky that was going on in the storage room, Shirley felt shocked and embarrassed and quickly ran out. What did I just see? Freaked out, she went to the register and joined Jennifer, her co-worker and now good friend. Jennifer, you won't believe what I just saw. I found a guy and a girl in the storage room. So what? They were doing it. Was he tall? Yeah? Not that good looking? Looks like he always needs saving? He was blonde and hunky actually. Oh, it must have been Jake. He does that. What? Who's Jake? There he comes. Looks like you two are going to be running the register this shift. Shirley awkwardly stood there as Jake joined her at the register. Hi. Heh. So he's a perv. Why is he looking at me like that? Those couple of hours behind the register felt like forever before Shirley escaped. Jake might have fallen in love with her on first sight, but all Shirley tried to do after her first sight was stay away from him. But things proved far difficult and soon freaky. Hi, Shirley. Freak. Hey, Shirley. Why is he always trying to talk to me? Is he baiting me? What's up, Shirley? There's nowhere to hide. He's everywhere. I'm trapped. I think Jennifer is calling me. But Jennifer is here. Shirley, got your coffee. Coffee? Why? Why would he get me coffee? Did he drug this? No. I'm not falling for his bait. Nice coffee. Why isn't she scared of him? Jen, gonna go grab some lunch. Want anything? No, I'm good. Oh shoot, he's following me now. See ya, Shirley. Bye, Jen. He's following me again? Is he my neighbor? Do we live near each other? Or is he stalking me? Oh no, is he planning to kidnap me? So that's where she lives. The truth was, Jake really wanted to spend time with Shirley, but he realized she was staying away from him. Jen, I messed up bad this time. She's got a bad impression of me, but I really do like her. Bad impression? Dude, you're famous for it. Even if she didn't catch you that day, she would have found out about your reputation. Jake looked at Jennifer for a while. What? No. But then he remembered all the times he had gotten caught. Like the time at the movie theater. Youngsters these days. Or the time in college. What are you two doing? Wait, haven't I seen you before? You're a professor? Or the most recent time, when Jake nearly lost his life running down the street after getting caught, sneaking into a girl's house. Emma, who's in there? Jake, out the window, go, go, go. You don't know my dad, he'll... You? You? If I see you again, you better be sure I'll pull the trigger. Ah, those were good times. Good times. Wait, no. Jennifer. Jen, I really like Shirley. What am I going to do? Simple. Change your reputation. Change my reputation? The first thing Jake did to make a good impression of himself was change his appearance. No more cool guy, Jake. From now on, you're a good boy. Jake started wearing formal, decent clothes. And now, when he was at work, he didn't flirt with the customers no matter how attractive they were, or try to bring them back to the storage room either. Is there a trial room where I can try this out? Sure, if you go straight down, the female changing rooms are right there. And you're not gonna go with her? Did you see her? She's hot. So, wow, you really are in love with Shirley. But when Shirley noticed how odd Jake was behaving and looking, she got even more scared. Why is he doing all this? This isn't him. He must be a serial killer. Multiple personality disorder. Jen, I'm telling you, I have a bad feeling he's planning something crazy. You think this is his new game? To try to bait me? I know he has a weakness for girls, but he's not that bad of a person. You should get to know him. In his dreams. No. I don't even want to be in his dream. There's a customer who wants to check out the skates. Could you help them out? Yeah, sure. Shirley took the customers to the skating section and showed them their best products. Is there someone who can demonstrate? Demonstrate? Jake knows how to skate. No, I'm not calling him. I can show you. Shirley put on the skates and got onto the ice. Only problem was, she didn't know how to skate. And ended up slipping and falling and injuring her back. Ouch! She was so embarrassed as she lay on the ground, unable to straighten herself out. When Jennifer and Jake showed up, what happened? She was trying to demonstrate the skates and she fell. Why would you try to do that? You don't even know how to skate. Jake knows. You should have called him. Jennifer hurried to help her up. Where is it hurting? I think I pulled a muscle in my back. Oh, I can fix it. My mom is a massage therapist. I know all the tricks. Let me help you. Shirley quickly yelled out as Jake came near her. What? No. I mean, I better go to the doctor. Shirley took leave that day and visited the doctor. He prescribed her some painkillers, and though it did help numb out the pain, now Shirley had this pinching pain in her back whenever she walked. Ouch. Don't worry, I got it. Jake had been a lot of help, but Shirley wasn't letting off her guard. Ouch. You really need to take care of that. It's getting worse. You need a massage therapy. Yeah, like I can afford that. I told you I can fix it. That's all right. Fine. At least let me set you an appointment with my mom. Your mom? Yeah, Miss Phoebe is actually a really good therapist. All right. The next Sunday evening, Shirley was scheduled for an appointment with Miss Phoebe. She offered to come to Shirley's place as Shirley was having a hard time traveling. Around 6, Shirley heard the doorbell and hurried to open. But was rather shocked when she saw this woman. Miss Phoebe? She looks just like Jake. She's so manly. You must be Shirley. Jake's friend? Coworker. Wow, Jake looks just like you. You got that right, baby girl. Jake got his good looks from me. Even her voice is so manly. Come in. Miss Phoebe brought a massage table and electric stove, with which she made some herbal tea and heated up some towels for the massage. Lie down, baby girl. Take off your clothes. Don't feel shy. Her fingers. They're so fat, ruggish, and manly. Did they get like that from massaging? As Shirley had the tea, Miss Phoebe picked up the massage table and set it up like it was feather. And she's strong. So manly. Lie down, baby girl. Take off your clothes. Don't feel shy. Shirley did as told and got onto the table. Think of it as a third date. What? Third date? Before Shirley could ask anything more, Miss Phoebe started the massage. Did you know there are 206 bones and over 7 trillion nerves in the human body? And I know where each and every one of them are, baby girl. I'll fix you in no time. The first massage was awkward, but it turned out to be rather relieving, and Shirley was feeling a lot better. And from then on, Miss Phoebe started visiting her every Sunday for her therapy sessions. Your mom is actually very good. You know something? I can also give good massages like her. But you didn't let me. Let's just say we all have our reasons. You're right. Like, I'll let that perv massage my body. A couple of weeks into the sessions, Shirley was almost good as new. But it was one evening that something a bit strange happened. That's all for today, baby girl. See you next week. Aren't you forgetting something, Miss Phoebe? What, baby girl? Your fake hair? What? I can't believe you, Jake. I actually started to think you were a good person, but I was wrong. Look, I really wanted to help you, but you wouldn't let me. Because I know what you think of me, but the truth is, I'm really not like that. Really? You aren't? That's why you did everything you did? I was only trying to help. You were trying to help? Or you were fulfilling your fantasies playing with my body. Shirley, it's not like that. Get out. Shirley slammed the door on Jake. She couldn't help the tears. How could I be so gullible? Fall for his tricks. I should have never trusted him. From that day, Shirley didn't return to work. She felt so deceived and betrayed, and she didn't want to see Jake again. On the other hand, Jake wasn't any better off either. Why is he so upset? When a couple of days passed like this, Shirley got a call from Jennifer. Shirley, are you alright? I'm fine. Aren't you gonna come back to work? I was actually thinking of leaving the job. Shirley, just think about it. Jake's been massaging you for weeks. Did he for once try to take any advantage of you? No. Jake really likes you, and I've been working with him for over a year now. He may have joked, but he never looked at me with lust, and the girls he has been with were with him because they were into him. Please don't leave the job. He was only trying to help. I have to think about it. After speaking to Jennifer, Shirley gave the matter some thought and realized she was right. Jennifer was beautiful, but she and Jake have always been friendly, and he never mistreated her or tried anything with her. In fact, in all these weeks he had been massaging her, he never tried anything wrong. If he was really a perv, he wouldn't have been able to control himself. A couple of days after he last visited Shirley, Jake suddenly got a call from her. Shirley? Miss Phoebe, could we reschedule my appointment to today instead of Sunday? Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure.
Yes!
Miss Phoebe will be there before you know it. So ungrateful. Thank you, Jen. You're the best. I know. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting. We are willing to offer you the job if you are willing to go to China. Yes, of course, I'm ready. Then congratulations, Mr. Abbott, you're hired. The company will arrange for your stay while you're there. Good luck in China. After a long job hunt, Caleb had finally landed a grand opportunity from the BII textile company as supervisor for 6 months at the new branch in China. He was more than happy, but there was one thing he was a little worried about: his girlfriend, Elle. Elle was working as an executive manager at one of the biggest fashion companies, Irvine Laron. But all she really did was manage her boss's appointments, sort out a ton of clothes, and make his coffee 10 times a day. The only reason she worked there was in hope that something miraculous would happen and she'd begin her real career one day. Caleb and Elle met about 4 years ago, and although they both loved each other, the relationship had become quite strained, constantly picking on each other's faults. And these days, every fight would only trigger more fights based on memories and grudges of the previous 100 fights. But at the end, they usually got back together again. As soon as Elle got home, Caleb sat her down. I have good news. I got an awesome job. The company's sending me abroad. It's a great opportunity. Really? Where? Paris? Milan? New York? No, China. China? Does that mean we'll have a long-distance relationship? No, because the job is in your field. I got a position as a supervisor at the BI textile company. They have a clause for spouses to join, so let's get married and you can come with me. Maybe you can get a fashion designing opportunity there. But what about my job here? Come on, Elle, there are bigger opportunities waiting, and if not anything, it's 6 months. It'll be like a honeymoon for us. Elle gave it a minute. All she really did was make coffee at Irvine Laurent. This was obviously better than that. Okay, let's go. So Caleb and Elle had a simple court wedding, after which they flew off to their business trip/honeymoon to China. They landed in Wenzhou BII Airport and booked into the fancy hotel that had been arranged for them by the company. Here is your Hunduntang and your Gongbao Ding. Wow, Caleb, I can get used to this. I told you, this is only the beginning. Caleb and Elle were enjoying all the privileges at the hotel. The following morning, a local guide sent by the company arrived to take them to their lodge. Ni hao, Mr. Abbott. I'm Che-Ung. I've been sent to assist you during your stay. Your lodge and office is in Shenyang. Are you ready to head out? Yes, let's go. The couple happily packed up after a relieving break at the hotel. But the moment they entered into a rural village and stopped in front of a bamboo cottage, utterly confused. You and Mrs. Abbott will be residing here. I've arranged some food for tonight, and I'll show you the way to the marketplace where you can buy all your necessities. Why don't you freshen up and I'll return later in the afternoon to escort you to the factory and the office. As Che-Ung left, Caleb and Elle stepped into their bamboo cottage, absolutely puzzled. There was no technology whatsoever, there was no guarantee when the electricity would go out, and they were practically in the middle of nowhere. Later that afternoon, Che-Ung returned to take Caleb to the office, which was almost 40 minutes away from the cottage, which itself was another cottage. It used to be home to a previous tenant. They left behind some furniture. We kept it aside in the storage room. It was a small room with a wooden desk, a single telephone, a chair, and some seating arrangements by the window, which was probably left by the previous tenant as well. And what did you say about the factory? Turned out the position at the company was actually at a factory about 20 minutes away from the office, where a ton of villagers worked to produce large quantities of the same t-shirt, which Caleb was supposed to keep track over before they were packed and exported to USA. Fashion designing opportunities? No. Now that they were here, Caleb thought it best that they cope. So he went to the market to buy some groceries. But he didn't recognize half the produce. He didn't know where to buy meat instead of a live chicken, and couldn't read or communicate with anyone. Nonetheless, he managed. What is that thing? It's a chicken. We didn't need a pet, Caleb. This is supposed to be dinner. Elle seemed to be the one who was struggling the most. What was she supposed to cook with? There were no non-stick fry pans, no blenders, or even a proper stove, and she didn't even know how to cook. Caleb, let's go back. Maybe we're making just a little more money here, but just consider our situation. I thought this was supposed to be like our honeymoon, and we've been boiling things and eating them. How are we supposed to live 6 months like this? And you work at a factory. This isn't a career. You could have done a lot better. Elle, this is a big opportunity for me. If we can successfully complete this, we'll get better offers in America. But you will never support me, will you? I never support you? I left everything and came to China for you. I've been having boiled potatoes for you. It's only been 2 days, and the only reason we're eating boiled food is because you don't know how to cook anything. What am I supposed to do? Kill that annoying chicken that doesn't let me sleep and eat it? I brought everything for you, Elle, but you don't even know how to cook rice, for goodness sake. All you know how to do is use a microwave and make microwave pizza, you microwave woman. Caleb stormed out the house and headed on his way to the office. Elle could be so unrealistic. How was this marriage even going to work? He needed to clear his mind and calm down. He focused on his work, not that he had any. Soon, hours went by and he hadn't even noticed when the rain started to pour. It was just before sunset when Caleb suddenly heard the front door open and a young woman step inside, drying herself off. She was one of the indigenous women. Caleb was surprised by how beautiful she was. She had no makeup, her hair was simply combed down her back, but she was naturally beautiful. Ni hao. Ni hao. Caleb awkwardly tried to communicate with signs. Do you need help, Bonjour? The young woman chuckled. I can speak English. Oh, then hello, I'm Caleb. Is there anything I can help you with? I'm Mei Yin. I used to live here. I left some of my things behind. Oh yes, they're in the storage room. All of a sudden, the rain began to pour even heavier. But I don't think you'll be able to go tonight in this weather. Well, let's hope it clears up soon. Why don't you take a seat inside? So, are you the new tenant? No, I'm the new office manager at the textile company here. I sit here all day, answer phone calls, and assist visitors, but so far, I've only received calls from scam advertisement companies that speak in Chinese so I don't understand anything, and you have been my first visitor. Mei Yin chuckled. You must be very busy. You're actually also one of the first people who I met speaks English. My father used to work with a British company. He often had to interact with them, so I've learned the language too. By the way, how are you planning to get home in this weather? I'm not. My wife and I actually had an argument. She can be so unreasonable sometimes. I've had enough. I'm staying here tonight. You men are so stubborn. She's all alone, probably missing you on this stormy night, and you're sitting here all grumpy. You'll be surprised by how stubborn she is. Caleb spent the evening talking to Mei Yin. She was a kind woman, and speaking to her got things off his mind. Are you getting hungry? 'Cause I'm getting hungry. Why don't I cook something for you? How will you cook here? Well, this used to be my house. I have some pots and utensils. And food? We'll manage. Come with me. Mei Yin took her umbrella and she led Caleb out the back door where she scavenged through the jungles and picked some mushrooms and even found some wild corn. Where did you find that? I told you, I know my way around here. Now help me and hold this umbrella. Caleb followed Mei Yin to a small shallow pond. There used to be shrimp here. She got her hands in the water and in no time she collected a few shrimp into a leaf. They ran back through the storm, back to the cottage, where Caleb watched Mei Yin start a fire and cook a soup in an earthen pot. They sat by the patio looking out into the rain while Mei Yin served them both. Here you go. The aroma was mesmerizing. But when Mei Yin sprinkled something else on top, it tasted even better than it already was. What was that? A secret ingredient. Wow, you're like the perfect woman. The way you improvised, cooked this amazing meal, and you're also very beautiful. Well, sometimes even a perfect woman isn't good enough. That night, Caleb and Mei Yin spoke until he didn't realize when he had fallen asleep. When he woke up, it was morning. Mei Yin had left. But she hadn't taken any of her things. Caleb needed to get to the factory, but before that, he needed to take a trip home. Caleb, where were you? You didn't have dinner last night, did you? I made food for you. Caleb looked at the rice and potatoes on the table and sneered. I ate already. You ate? How did you make food? You don't have to worry about me. I had food. I couldn't come back because of the weather. I'm getting late. I have to get to the factory. After inspecting everything at the factory, Caleb returned to his office sometime late in the afternoon. He sat down remembering the previous night. He actually wished to meet Mei-yin again. Surprisingly, today, sometime after sunset, Mei-yin showed up. Mei-yin, I was hoping you would come. And I knew, you stubborn man, you didn't go back home to your wife, did you? Well, you didn't take your things this morning. If I took my stuff, there wouldn't have been any excuse to come back. Caleb chuckled as Mei-yin placed her bag on the table and took out a few boxes. You probably haven't eaten anything all day. I brought dinner for you. All of a sudden, the lights went off. Don't worry, I got it. Mei-yin lit a lantern as the two sat down by the patio again. A soothing gust of wind passed through the cottage. I wish it was raining. I really enjoyed last night. Caleb didn't return home again that night. He enjoyed spending time with Mei-yin so much, and the foods she cooked for him were absolutely amazing. She returned to meet him every evening for the following days. When 2 days had passed since Caleb had returned home, Elle started to get a little worried and suspicious, so she called Chae-ung. Chae-ung, Mr. Abbott hasn't returned home in 2 days, and he was looking a little unwell last time I saw him. Are there any arrangements for food at the office? The previous tenant used to cook, so there are utensils and pots, but there's no one to cook there. Had Caleb been cooking himself? Elle decided to take a trip to the office that afternoon. But when she got there, the office was empty. Caleb was still at the factory. But what was surprising was the condition of his office. Everything was a mess. Had Caleb been living here for the past few days like this? Elle thought she cleaned things up and began searching around the cottage. When she stepped into the storage room, there she found an earthen pot set over a stove and some old furniture. So Caleb had been cooking with this. But it was all dry. There was no sign he had cooked anything. Elle walked in, looking through everything, when she removed a cloth from one of the furniture and stopped to look at a painting of a woman. All of a sudden, she heard the door outside. Caleb, what happened to you? How did you lose so much weight? You look sick. I'm doing fine. What are you doing here? I came to check up on you. You haven't been home in days. I told you, you don't have to worry about me. Go back home. Caleb, why are you being like this? I'm sorry about what happened. Go from here, Elle. She'll be here anytime. She? Who? Mei-yin. Elle fell silent. Was he cheating on her? She didn't know what to say and simply ran out the office. On her way back home, she happened to spot Chae-ung. Ma'am, you're here? Chae-ung, there's something I need to speak to you about. Yes, ma'am? Do you know of a woman named Mei-yin and where she lives? Mei-yin, she was the previous tenant at the office cottage, but she passed away almost 10 years ago. People in this village all knew her. She was the most beautiful of the women. They called her the perfect woman. She was hardworking, she knew how to cook good food, and she had natural beauty. She used to live there on her own and worked a simple job. Over the years, she saved up little money and met someone. They decided to get married, but the day of the wedding, the groom had run away. That's when Mei-yin locked herself in the cottage. She went into depression. Her family members came to counsel her, but she didn't listen to anyone. And eventually, she starved herself to death. It was truly tragic. Everyone still remembers her in this village. Previous tenant, her things were in the storage room. Yes. And that painting. That was a painting of Mei-yin, the only portrait that remains of her. When Elle heard of Mei-yin's story, she suddenly became panicked. She realized what happened to Caleb. He wasn't in his senses. He had been starving himself. When night fell, Mayeen came to visit Caleb again. They sat down in the candlelight to have dinner together. Do you like it? It's my special recipe. It's wonderful, Mayeen. Caleb stared into her eyes as they enjoyed the food together. When suddenly, the door to the room burst open, and there stood Elle. Caleb, what are you doing? What am I doing? What do you mean, what am I doing? Seeing the shock on Elle's face, Caleb turned back to Mayeen. But she wasn't there. He looked down at the food. A bowl of dirt. Dirt on his hands. Dirt in his mouth. Elle, I'm not feeling well. Elle rushed to hold Caleb as he collapsed to the ground. Caleb, wake up! Caleb! She called for help immediately and had Jae-ung take Caleb back to their cottage. Let's go, ma'am. Just give me 1 minute. Elle still had one thing to do. She went into the storage and took out the painting. This had to go. Caleb woke up back home. He turned to see Elle bringing a bowl of chicken soup to him. How are you feeling? Much better. I'm really sorry for everything. I almost lost you because of my stubbornness. I promise, I'll try to be a perfect wife. You don't have to try. You are my perfect wife. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting. After a lot of struggle, earning his engineering degree and starting his career at the BII construction company, Harry Bennett recently got assigned a big project. He was only 30 and his life was perfect. Except for one thing that had been missing his whole life. Harry has never been in a relationship because he has always been a little overweight. In his school and college days, he was a great student, a simple guy, but because he was overweight, he never built the courage to ask any girl out, or ever have a real girlfriend, or just simply be with a woman. But now that he was quite successful, somehow he built the courage to find himself that special someone, because now, even if his figure wasn't good, the figure he made yearly was very good. Mom, I've decided to settle in life. How are you going to settle in life when you can't even ask a girl out? Mom, I was busy chasing after my career. Alright, but beware, Harry. Now that you have all this money, a lot of girls will give you a lot of attention, but for the wrong reasons. I know, Mom. Your son might be fat, but he's very smart. No, son, you're not fat. You're unique in your own way, but you've always underestimated yourself by thinking you're fat. And now that you're making all this money, you're building up the wrong notion that you've become something great. You're still the same person. Understand who you truly are. Harry knew there was truth in what his mother said. So, he took her advice into consideration and thought he would find himself a woman that actually liked him for him. Who has been nice to me even before this job? Lena from work? No. Anne from college? No. Wait, Belle. Yes, her. For the past year or so, Harry has been going to a coffee shop where he met a young woman who worked there named Belle. Belle has always been nice to him and always spoke to him with a smile. She had to be the one. So, the next evening, Harry headed to the coffee shop to meet her. Harry, is it going to be the usual? Yes. Belle quickly brewed his coffee and got his bagel with a smile. Here you go. Is it okay if I ask you something? Yeah, sure. Can I have your number? Maybe we can go out sometime? Belle looked at him surprised. She didn't know what to say. All of a sudden, one of her co-workers, Eva, hurried and scribbled Belle's number on a tissue. "Of course you can. Belle was actually asking about you this morning." "Eva?" Harry chuckled, seeing Belle nervous. "I'll call you." Belle politely smiled, watching Harry go out the door. After which, she turned to Eva, shocked. "What was that about? Why'd you give him my number?" "You didn't see his picture on the front cover of BII-Politan? He's working on constructing this big mall. The dude used to be rich, but now he's super rich." "I was about to put him down. Thanks. I almost lost this opportunity." Belle. She traveled to America on a student visa about 2 years ago, after which she came to realize how tough life could be here. She was struggling to keep up with her tuition fees, her rent, her bills. She worked this part-time job at this coffee shop where she met Harry. The only reason she was nice to him was because he used to tip very well. But behind his back, she and Eva used to mock at him. "Hey look, the hippo is here." "Shh, you don't want him to hear us. I need my tip, okay? The hippo might move slow, but the hippo's hearing might be better." But now, none of that mattered because the hippo was super rich. Belle eagerly waited for his call, and the next Friday, they went on a first date at a really expensive restaurant. "Is your name really Belle?" "It's short for Badia Anaya Liming Ikundayo. My friends call me Belle." After a great first date, second date, and finally, a third date, Harry and Belle were taking a walk by the lakeside. "You want to go back to my place? I just finished the 3D models for the project. I can show it to you." Belle cringed just a little. Was this hippo trying to get funky with her? "Harry, I know this is our third date and you have expectations, and I really like you, but I come from a very conservative family, and in my culture, we don't do things like this before marriage. I hope you don't mind." "Oh, no, I understand. I meant no disrespect to your culture. It's okay." That night, Harry dropped her home, and Belle finally breathed out in relief, having gotten away from that awkward situation. "Third date, huh? How'd it go? You guys got it on?" "What? I'm not gonna let that fat hippo touch me." I gave him the conservative family excuse. "And you think you'll keep dating him and spending his money and he won't find out your long list of boyfriends?" "He won't. He's also a gullible hippo." "Well, kudos to you. Make him more desperate. And if he marries you, you won't just be enjoying his money, but you can get a green card too." Meanwhile, Harry dropped by his mother's place. "Mom, I met someone." "You did? What's her name? What does she do?" "Belle. She's an international student." "Oh, a foreigner. Be careful, Harry. She's probably dating you for your money." "Mom, she's not like that. She's actually very conservative." Belle's plan was to land herself a jackpot, get a green card, and forget all her immigration troubles and live happily ever after. But while Belle was dreaming, so was Harry. He was getting desperate. "I get we can't do it, but we can't even hold hands?" "Harry, it's tradition. Abstinence is something big amongst my people." The only way Belle would agree was if they got married. That wasn't a bad thing, was it? He loved her, she loved him. So, Harry bought a beautiful ring, set up a surprise special date, where he stooped down to his knees and asked, "Belle, will you marry me?" Seeing the whopping diamond on that ring, Belle had to say, yes. "So when are we gonna tell your parents?" "About that. You know how conservative my family is. If they hear I'm going to marry you, they won't be able to accept us, so we can never let them know about this marriage." "You're gonna keep this a secret?" "Yeah, please. There's probably going to be a lot of trouble and issues." "Okay, whatever you're comfortable with." Phew, another issue resolved. Wow, that's a big diamond. So when's the wedding? We're gonna have a small wedding. I'm only marrying him for my green card and a little bit for his money. Okay, a lot for his money. I'm not gonna tell my mom and dad about this. What is my family going to say? You married a hippo? What are my cousins going to think? They would be mocking me. In the next few days, Harry was happily making plans for their small wedding. Mom, Mel and I are getting married. Isn't it a bit too early? Are you sure you want to do this? Yeah, she's the one. I love her. Have you considered she might be marrying you for a green card? It was true, Belle had applied for a green card, but he couldn't tell this to his mother. No, Mom, I told you, she's not like that. Once Belle got that ring on her finger, she was this close to being set for life. Belle and Harry had a small wedding in which Harry's close family came and only a handful of Belle's friends. Congratulations, man. You gotta tell me how you met her again. I guess it was just fate. I never thought I would meet a woman like her. She's perfect. But then came the night of the wedding. Belle still hadn't gotten her green card, and there was still 2 years to go till she could apply for her citizenship. What excuse would she use now? I've been waiting for tonight. Harry, there is something important I need to tell you first. In my culture, it's held auspicious not to take children for the first 24 lunar cycles of marriage. It's a tradition. Yeah, okay, but we can consummate the marriage, right? Yeah, I guess. Within a few weeks, Belle finally got that green card. She was so happy, having the time of her life. She was shopping, hanging out with her friends. Meanwhile, Harry had gotten very wrapped up with work, and in all the stress, he had gotten quite sick and had to take leave for a few days. His blood pressure raced too high. Great, so the hippo's got blood pressure. Big surprise. Soon you'll find out he has diabetes and cholesterol too. 2 days into looking after him, Belle was sort of fed up, but she obviously had to show some decency as his wife. I made you some soup and got the medicine. Thanks. Harry, I wish I could be with you, but a distant relative of mine has come and I have to be there to welcome him. It's a family emergency. Don't worry, you go and take care of it. Thanks, I'll try to be home early. Belle went to her room, got ready, and called Eva. Belle, where are you? Aren't you coming to the party? The hot guy is here already. I'll be there in half an hour. Eva and Belle were supposed to go to a party at a bar tonight, and there was no way Belle was missing this, so she had to make up a harmless excuse. Belle, you're finally here. This is Jake. Jake, this is Belle. Belle, well, you are a beauty. Thank you, you're not too bad yourself. Belle was having a good time flirting and dancing with her buddies when she suddenly felt a tap on her shoulder. She turned around and froze, seeing Harry's best friend, James. Belle, you're here? Where's Harry? Harry's not here, he's busy with work. So you came alone? No, I came with my friends. Oh, okay, I'll see you around. As James walked out of the bar, Belle shocked. I think I'm in trouble. Don't worry, just bluff him. You've been handling this hippo so far so good. I think you'll pass this too. How smart can a hippo be? It was around 11 p.m. that Belle returned home. She went to her room to find Harry still awake. Harry, how are you feeling? How was the party? Belle awkwardly laughed. I knew James would call you. I was on my way back and I bumped into Eva. She forced me into going to the party. Harry turned to look at her. She was right. James had called him. Hey man, what's up? I bumped into Belle tonight. She's at this party. Been dancing and flirting with this guy the whole evening. Thought I'd let you know. Belle anxiously stared at Harry, waiting for him to speak up. It's okay, you were having fun. Belle was surprised by how lightly Harry took it. She felt so ashamed, leaving him here when he was sick so she could go out and party, and he didn't even get mad at her or question her. The very next morning, Belle woke up early and made Harry breakfast. But around 8, he came out ready for work. You're going to work, but you're unwell. I have to go, it's urgent. Belle spent her day as usual, but in the back of her mind, she kept waiting for Harry to return. But it was sometime in the evening that a news caught her attention. New construction project at the loop comes crumbling down, many workers injured and some trapped under the rubble. Police are trying to bring them out, but authorities predict it might be too late for many. Belle watched the news in shock. This was the building Harry was working on. All of a sudden, she received a call from the company. Hello, is this Badia Bennett? Yes, where's Harry? I'm sorry, Mrs. Bennett, he was in the building at the time of the crash. The phone dropped from Belle's hand in shock. Her heart raced, she couldn't help the tears. Her hands trembled as she picked up the phone and called Eva. Eva, Harry got into an accident at the construction site. A lot of workers died and Harry's still missing. Yeah, I saw it on the news, but isn't that good news for you? If he dies, you'll own everything, his apartment, his car. No, I don't want any of that. I love him, Eva. I want him. Belle drove out to the construction site that was now surrounded by police. Mrs. Bennett, it's not safe for you to enter the site. Belle remained with the crew as they cleaned through the rubble and debris, but hours went by and there was no hope. Around 8 p.m., the sky started to get gloomy, foreshadowing a storm. Mrs. Bennett, we've been searching for 7 hours. I think it's time we stop. If the rain starts, the conditions will get worse. No, please, don't stop the search. I know he's in there. Belle looked up at the skies. Lord, please, bring him back to me. The crew continued digging as the rain started to pour. But it wasn't until almost 1 a.m. that they started to hear shouts. We found him! He's alive! The police pulled out Harry and a few others, all unharmed. Harry! Belle, my assistant took responsibility while I was absent, and he ended up making a mistake. We were trying to fix it when the building collapsed. I was lucky I got stuck in the elevator, but I'm probably gonna lose this deal, and even if it wasn't my fault, this is gonna be a setback for my career. It's gonna be tough getting another job. Hearing him, Belle felt furious. You will sit at home. I'll run the household. You're not allowed to go outside again. I love you. I really love you. You understand that, Hippo? You'll never do this to me again. Harry chuckled. Belle, don't cry. I'm fine. And I love you too. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting. Finally, the shift's over. Can't wait to get home. Lucky you. Who knows what I have waiting for me at home. This is Catherine. She works as a concierge at a 5-star hotel in Santa Monica. She made good money here and was pretty settled in her life. When she first came to the city, she moved into a small bungalow by the waterfront with 3 other roommates. It sure sounded nice waking up to the sounds of the waves, the seagulls every morning, but it wasn't. Catherine was going crazy living with a bunch of crazy women. Let's just take this morning for example. Catherine had gotten up 1 hour early to get her outfit ready because a very famous author was to book in today and she had to be in her best to greet him. She hopped into the shower, dried off, searched for her perfume, but couldn't find it. Tried to put on some makeup, but her makeup kit was almost empty. And to much surprise, when she stepped out of her bathroom, her suit was missing too. "Where's my suit?" That's when she heard heels tapping outside and the front door slam shut. Boguslava. Catherine watched out the window as her roommate Boguslava strutted out wearing her designer Hervé Laurent suit. She should have known this was something Boguslava often did. Boguslava moved here from Russia, to follow her dreams of becoming a model. She was super gorgeous, really tall, and everything about her was picture perfect, except for the part that she was broke. She liked using all of Catherine's things, and having that heavy Russian accent made it difficult to communicate that Catherine wanted privacy. "That is very nice dress. I will wear it tomorrow, okay, Kasarine?" "Oh no, Boguslava, I wish I could give it to you, but I have a party tomorrow." "That is great idea, Kasarine. Wish granted. There are many rich men at the party. I wear this and come with you." Now, after an exhausting day, all Catherine wanted to do was return home and eat her leftover meatballs and spaghetti. Usually, Catherine would go home to find Saffron had ate all her food, but at least she found a way out of this one. Saffron was a fitness trainer, a counselor, and a vegan. Catherine had intentionally been eating non-veg all week, so no one was going to eat her meatballs today. And if you're wondering, her name isn't really Saffron. It's Jennifer, but she likes to be called by the name of her inner earthly soul. Catherine slowly opened the door and sneaked in. She would just slip her lunchbox out and hurry into her room. But where was it? Hearing a noise, she turned to see Saffron slurping her spaghetti. "Saffron, that has meat in it." "Yeah, I know." "But I thought you were vegan." "Yeah, but it's my cheat day. Come on, you expect me to go vegan after all that workout?" A vegan with a cheat day, why didn't Catherine think of that? She sighed as she went to her room. Sometimes it felt like Juliet was easier to put up with than Boguslava or Saffron. She was the quiet, emo kid. She stayed in the darkness of her room and wrote dark poems about her difficult life. And to sum up her difficult life, Juliet was a rebel. She ran away from her parents' home and found her safe haven here, but even then, she hated her life. Catherine picked up her phone about to order some takeout when she got a call from Juliet. "Catherine, I need some help." "What happened? Where are you?" "I got arrested." "Arrested? What did you do?" And so Catherine drove out to the precinct. Turned out Juliet had gotten into a fight outside BIRS for scaring children. "What are you guys so happy about? Don't you see how worthless life is? Life is pain, life is suffering, life is crying in despair." "Mom, she's weird." But that wasn't the only thing Catherine discovered at the precinct. You are the daughter of 2 millionaires? Your dad is a politician and your mom is a celebrity? And you're living here? You could be living in a mansion. You're rich. You have loving parents. What pain could you possibly have in your life? What were you thinking? Who says that to happy little kids walking out of a toy store? Just leave me alone. Can't you see I'm hurting? I'm sorry I'm not like you. I'm sorry I'm not a perfect southern small-town girl like you always wanted. I hate my life. And so you see, if things went on like this, Catherine was definitely going to go crazy. That's it, I'm never going to stay with girls again. I've had enough of the drama. So, the whole next week, Catherine looked through newspapers and advertisements and finally found a reasonable room for rent at an apartment. And first thing Saturday morning, she went to check it out. Are you here for the room? Yes, I'm Catherine Geller. Calvin, come in, I'll show you around. When Catherine stepped in, she was a bit confused to see the apartment was practically empty. Are you going to rent the apartment out to more tenants? No, just me, that's my bedroom, and you, that's your bedroom. We'll have to share the bathroom and the kitchen, but apart from that, you'll have your privacy. Catherine walked around the apartment, noticing a lot of paintings. Don't worry about these, I'll move them out of the way. No, that's alright. I hope you don't mind me asking, what do you do? I'm an artist. This is actually some of my work, and I also work a part-time job at an electronics store. You painted all these? Catherine liked the place, and Calvin seemed like a nice guy. He didn't have any furniture, but that wasn't really a problem, was it? There was more space for Catherine's stuff. And so, in just a few days, Catherine moved in. Calvin had been kind enough to help her out and bring up all her boxes and furniture. Thanks for everything. It's no problem. By the way, where's all of your furniture? I don't really watch TV, so I didn't get a couch. That's not weird, is it? I guess not, but is it okay if I use the space? Go ahead, it's laying empty anyways. Living with Calvin was great. There was no waiting for the bathroom for hours or having your clothes stolen in the morning. But some things about Calvin were really strange. Like the fact that Catherine just saw him take a whole bagload of ice to his room. What was that for? And the first morning at the apartment, she walked out to the kitchen seeing Calvin slide some toast off of an iron. Did you just toast your bread on an iron? Calvin picked up an egg. Yeah, you can even poach eggs on it. Catherine stopped for a minute to soak it all in. She searched through her boxes and took out her kitchen set. Well, you can use an iron for that, but you can also use a fry pan. I know it's not as artistic or fancy like your way, but it's the traditional way, she said, handing him the pan. You know, I don't really use those, but that's not a bad idea. Catherine went off to work, but she couldn't stop thinking about what she saw that morning. When she got home, she looked around the kitchen and realized not only did Calvin not have furniture, he didn't have anything except for a single plate and a glass. And again, Catherine watched as Calvin took another bagload of ice to his room. She saw him fill 10 ice trays in the morning. Did he take them with him to bed every night? She followed after him and peeked a glance before she knocked on the door. Calvin, what are you going to do with all that ice? Calvin froze for a minute before he pointed to the fan across from his bed, and in front of it, a bucket load of ice. Don't ask, the air conditioner broke a couple months back, so I figured this would work too. Does it? Catherine stood in front of the fan. This is pretty cool, literally. That's the point. Calvin was the ultimate improviser. He knew how to make his way around everything. Unfortunately, Catherine wasn't. And on the next weekend, she broke out of her savings and bought a TV, a couch, and a toaster. And to much surprise, after setting everything up, she saw Calvin plop right down and turn on the TV. Oh, the new episode of Wayne the Huntsman is on. I thought you didn't watch TV. Oh yeah, I don't. I saw a poster. Never mind. Wait, aren't you gonna watch it? I like this show too. Over the days, seeing Calvin, Catherine picked out a few DIYs for herself. and one morning while she was cleaning up, she stumbled upon a few letters, magazines, and junk mail that had piled over the week. She looked through them to see if she had any when she stopped at a bill. There were art supplies, brushes, paints, canvases. He spends this much money on this? Catherine finally understood Calvin wasn't the ultimate improviser because he liked it, but because he prioritized his passion more. And that salary working at BII Electronics wasn't going to pay for the bill she just saw. When Catherine admired Calvin for his work, he was really talented. She started going through some drawings of his when suddenly he showed up. "Your work is really good. How long have you been doing this?" "It's been years. I actually have a master's in arts." All right, you don't have to show off. I only have a bachelor's, okay?" Later that day, Catherine went out to run some errands and picked up some pizza before she got home. But when she opened the door that night, she got a whiff of something odd. Calvin was in the kitchen again, cracking open a can of tuna and microwaving some potatoes. Catherine watched as he dipped a spoon inside the can and stuffed a scoop of raw tuna in his mouth. "That's what you're going to have for dinner? Raw tuna? You can always heat it up on the iron. Wanna have some?" "I actually got some pizza. You wanna share it with me? I don't think I'll be able to finish it anyways." "Sure." Catherine and Calvin watched some shows and gobbled down their pizza. And soon enough, this started to become a usual in the apartment. It was nice getting to sit with someone and eat, and before long, Catherine and Calvin became good friends. It was one evening when Catherine returned home from work, however, that she found Calvin sitting on the couch holding his head. "What's wrong, Calvin?" He sighed as he picked up his painting from the table. "I spent so much making this, getting this up at the gallery, but they didn't even give it a second look." "Your work is great, Calvin. Don't worry, I'm sure it'll get noticed." "It won't, because this world runs on nepotism. Talent doesn't matter these days. What matters is if you have connections with influential people. They'll recognize their work because they're the son of a big artist or celebrity. And I'm a nobody." Calvin got up and threw the canvas on the floor. "There's no point of doing this," he said as he stormed off to his room. Catherine stood there a bit shocked, seeing Calvin so upset. Maybe there was something she could do with it. The next day, Catherine took the painting to the hotel, where she spoke to the manager about getting it hung up in the lobby. "All right." Throughout the day, many people stopped to take a look. But it was sometime in the afternoon, one of the guests stopped in front of it for quite some time before he went to the reception. "Excuse me, may I know whose painting this is?" "Just 1 minute, sir. I'll have to ask the manager." Catherine hurried to see the matter. "May I help you?" "Yes, I'm Jason Vanderbilt, owner of the Vanderbilt Design Company. I couldn't help but notice this painting. Would you be able to tell me the artist? It's absolutely amazing. This isn't a regular showpiece." "I actually got this from a friend. He's a painter, and this is just one of his many works." "Could you arrange an appointment with him?" "Absolutely." Mr. Vanderbilt was quite impressed with Calvin's paintings, and after looking through his portfolio, he wanted to buy the piece for an unbelievable price. "Mr. Ross, I'd like to launch your work at the BII galleries. Your paintings have a lot of potential, and I'm sure the art world would appreciate to see these." "Thank you, Mr. Vanderbilt. This really means a lot to me." When Calvin's paintings were showcased at the BII gallery, not only did many people praise his work, but he started to make a lot of money from the ones he sold to rich businessmen, critics, and art fanatics. But now with the new fame, it seemed that Calvin barely had any spare time anymore. "Calvin, I got some takeout. You want to have dinner together?" "Sorry, Catherine. I actually have to go to this meeting. I'll probably eat out." "Oh, okay." "Hey Calvin, Wayne the Huntsman is on again. You wanna watch?" I'm kind of in the middle of something, maybe later. But it had been almost a month and Calvin was either busy with his clients or busy in his room. They didn't even have the time to talk. However, one night Calvin came to Catherine. "These are tickets to the exhibition at the gallery. All my paintings are gonna be up. I'd really like if you come." "Sure, I'd love to." Catherine was more than excited to go. She dressed her best and arrived there that special evening. But the gallery was packed with people, rich folks, reporters, journalists. Catherine just barely managed to wave at Calvin, but he didn't even notice her. "I love your work, Calvin. Maybe you can show me some of your more personal works." "Yeah, maybe someday. I'd like to take you out sometime. How about dinner at the BII Lounge this Friday?" "Sounds nice, but I'll have to check my schedule." Catherine walked out of the crowd as she picked up a drink and watched. Calvin was now surrounded by women. Catherine was happy for him, but at the same time, she felt unhappy. Was it because she had fallen in love with him? Catherine realized she had never opened up to him, and there was no point of confessing to him now. He was famous. He didn't have time for someone like Catherine anymore. She spent the evening by herself, walking around admiring his paintings, until the lights suddenly dimmed out and Catherine could hear the host speak on the stage. "Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time to reveal the grand showcase, Mr. Calvin Ross's latest work, the painting we have all been eager to see." Everyone turned their gaze to the front as the silken sheets were pulled off the canvas. "This is incredible, Mr. Ross. Please share a few words with us. What inspired you to make this?" As Calvin took the microphone, Catherine walked through the crowds to get a glimpse, when she suddenly froze upon what she heard. "Catherine, are you here?" Everyone started to look around the crowd. "That's the woman in the painting!" "I'd like everyone present here, everyone watching us to know my success is because of her. She was the one that believed in me. She was the one who supported me, and tonight, I want to confess that I had fallen in love with you from the very first day I saw you, but I never had the courage to tell you." Catherine's heart raced as Calvin walked off the stage and took out a ring in front of her. "But tonight, I want to let you know it's you I want to be with for the rest of my life. Catherine, will you marry me?" Under the spotlight, surrounded by so many people eager to hear her words, Catherine said, "I will." Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting. It was a gloomy afternoon in Seattle by the bay. Liam was at the lakeside park, watching the waves, when he noticed a young woman riding a bicycle come towards him. "Are you waiting for someone? For the past few days I've noticed you sitting here." "Not exactly, but sort of." "What do you mean?" Liam looked towards the trees and bushes up ahead and saw a few squirrels playing around. "Here they are." He took out a few nuts from his bag and gently whistled. The young woman watched as the squirrels rushed to him, stuffed their mouths with all the nuts from his palm, and ran off again. "So you like animals?" "I used to know someone who liked animals." "Interesting. Who is this person?" "Grace." Didn't expect it to rain this heavily today. "Are you lost, little fella?" "It's okay. Come on. I'll take you home." You'll be better in no time. She once found this stray puppy and took it home. She used to take care of it so much. That's very sweet. Where did you two first meet? Liam chuckled as he remembered the old days. Our first meeting? It's quite a story. It was about 8 years ago. In those days, I was looking for a job and learned about an opening position at the BII hotel. I applied for the position and borrowed a suit from my friend and went for my interview. That was the first time I met Grace. She mistook me for a customer. Welcome to BII, sir. How can I help you? Yes, my name is Liam. Oh, Mr. Liam, yes, your reservation was booked at 3. So sorry for the delay. Please come with me. Which table can I arrange for you? I will need a private booth. I have quite a few guests joining me. Absolutely. So Grace took me to a private booth and gave me the best service. Sir, would you like to try out our complimentary wine? Only the finest. Here you go. Exquisite, just like you. Thank you, sir. Our motto here at BII is to achieve complete satisfaction of our guests. Grace was serving me, and I was enjoying myself. Just until the manager showed up. Grace, what are you doing here? Mr. William McGregor has been waiting for his reservations. What? But Mr. William is... Mr. Mosby? I'm Liam Moore. I was sent by Martha for the housekeeping position. Oh, yes. Martha spoke to me. Well, it's good that you're here. Meet Grace, the assistant manager. You'll be working under her. Oops. So, on your first meeting, you were pranking your future boss the whole time? Those were the good old days. But she must have given you a really hard time. What did she do after that? Well, let's just say she got even. I was supposed to be working as part of the housekeeping team, but Grace had me doing every job there was. Liam, there's a mess in the kitchen. Go and clean it up, please. In the kitchen? But it's getting late. Exquisite. Liam, the delivery is here. I need the boxes taken to the 3rd floor. Only me? There's like 25 carts here. You better get to work then. Exquisite. Liam, Suite 104 needs to be cleaned out. But no one is even booked there. Yes, but it's our motto. Complete satisfaction for the next guest. Exquisite. Sounds like she got even. Well, yeah, but I deserved it. She was also new, and that day she was nervous, and I guess making an example out of me helped her get her confidence back. And eventually we did become good friends. How did that happen? It was one day at work. I saw Mr. Mosby yelling at her. How could you make this kind of mistake? Mr. Nakamura and his guests are going to be here for the party. Dinner was supposed to be served at 9 and it's 8:30 and you're telling me there's nothing prepared? Mr. Mosby, the chef that was supposed to cook the seafood fell sick and a new cook had to be arranged at the last moment. Excuses. How can you be so unprofessional? Just admit you made a mistake. Now what am I supposed to tell Mr. Nakamura? Grace, has all the squid been cooked already? No, it hasn't been prepared yet. Good. Mr. Nakamura wants to have raw squid with soy sauce. What? He wants it raw? Yes. Alright, do whatever these people want. Did Mr. Nakamura really want raw squid? No, but I convinced him it was an American seafood delicacy. Really? Liam, you're an electrical engineer. What are you doing here at a hotel? I'm here because I couldn't find any suitable job. Mr. Nakamura, there is raw squid, raw scallops, eel, and crab. Exquisite. So, you saved her that day. Yes, but I took multiple favors in return. And from that day on, I only had fun. Oh, really? I want to hear that story. Liam, where were you? It's 9:30 and you were supposed to be here at 8. I know, but I was working late last night. What? No, you weren't. You were partying on the rooftop with the boys. Hehe. Are the orders ready for Suite 301? Yeah, almost done. Liam, stop eating the guest food. Where did Liam go? Liam, you were supposed to clean out the rooms on the second floor and you're sleeping? The guests are here already. Yeah, just give me 10 minutes. Yeah, right, you will fix it in 10 minutes. Stall them, I'll handle this. I'm sorry, sir. I'm afraid you'll have to take the stairs. The elevators haven't been working. Here's your room, Mr. Wilson. Thank you. Grace, I heard the staff was complaining that the elevator wasn't working. No, it's working fine. Then who told our guests it wasn't working? Who could that be? Maybe it was just a misunderstanding. Grace, has the electricity issue in room 243 been fixed? I'm not sure. I told Liam to check on it. Where is he? Where's Grace? I think she went to room 243. What? Grace, stop! Don't touch that! Where were you? I told you to get this fixed. Yes, and I installed a meter. There's a problem with the voltage output. You could have gotten shocked. We need to bring a technician for this, so don't try to fix it yourself. Alright, at least you did one thing properly. Hey, I just saved your life. Yeah, right. Grace, where's Liam? Did he come late to work again? He was here on time. I sent him out on a delivery. Liam, you have to stop partying, stop wasting your money, or Mr. Mosby will find out one day and you'll be fired. Absolutely, never again. I'll be on time from tomorrow. You better be. But can I borrow 50? Liam? And your car keys? But how will I go home? I'll be right back, just in a couple hours. I was coming to work late, I was sleeping at work, enjoying all the privileges, and also making Grace do my work. It seems you and Grace were a little more than just friends. No, we were only friends. It was early one evening at the hotel. There was a concert and a carnival going on the beach nearby, and I wanted to check it out, so I asked Grace to cover for me. Liam, it's only 7. You were supposed to work the night shift. I know. I'll be back by 11, promise. I left and enjoyed myself, but that day I did keep track of the time. Can you pack these earrings? I bought a gift for Grace and returned right around 11, thinking today she would be happy. But when I got there, I saw police and ambulance outside the hotel. What happened? It's Grace. What happened to Grace? There was an electrical issue in room 243, so Grace went to check the meter, but somehow she got electrocuted. But I told her not to fix that. Where is she? Liam, she's no more. What? No. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was devastated. I felt so guilty, wondering if I hadn't left. Maybe I could have done something. I could have saved her. I kept wondering why she didn't listen to me. But then, I never listened to her. Her death was hard on me. I couldn't accept it. In the next few days before her funeral, I helped out to pack her things to return them to her family. As I went through everything, I found her phone and her diary. Liam, he never listens to anything, no matter how many times I tell him. And not only that, he doesn't sense anything either. He can't see how I feel about him. As I went through her diary, I found so many entries where she wrote about me. She wrote about every small thing. She remembered every word. When I looked through her phone, I found so many pictures of us. She saved all those memories we had together. And I realized she was in love with me, but she never told me. I attended her funeral and returned all her things to her family, but I kept her diary and phone with me. And from that day, I decided to change everything. I came to work on time, I did my shifts, and I returned home alone, wondering, was she really in love with me? Why she didn't tell me, and why didn't I? And it has been 8 years. You've been living this life in wonder. People search for true love their entire lives, and my true love was in front of me, but I couldn't recognize it, and I lost it. Do you think you will ever be able to move on? I don't know, but this is why I'm here. My sister Martha and my brother-in-law live here. They have been bugging me for some time to meet one of their friends. Is that so? Who is she? Her name is Vivian. What does she look like? I haven't met her yet. You have at least seen her picture. Not really, but I'm supposed to meet her tomorrow. All of a sudden, the rain began to drizzle. Liam got up and turned to search for his nephew. Luke, buddy, come on, it's getting late. Your mother will kill me if I let you play in the rain. Okay, Uncle Liam. Luke picked up his ball and rushed towards him, when he suddenly stopped looking at the young woman. Miss Vivian, you're here? Liam turned to her. You are Vivian? Liam's sister Martha and Vivian were teachers at the BI Elementary School. And over time of working together, they became good friends. Wow, he's cute. Who is he? It's my brother. So, when are you getting us to meet each other? Don't get your hopes up. He's been heartbroken for the past 8 years. Martha called up Liam and tried setting him and Vivian on a date, but Liam always refused. But after a lot of convincing, she finally got him to agree to visit her. But Liam was still having second thoughts about meeting Vivian. He's finally here, but he's so stubborn, he won't listen to me. He goes out every evening to the lakeside and just sits there to feed the animals. Alright, lakeside. When Vivian heard about Liam, he decided if he wouldn't meet her, she would meet him herself. You are Vivian? Vivian chuckled as she quickly got on her bicycle. Nice to meet you, mister. I'll see you tomorrow. Uncle Liam, let's go home. It's raining. No, wait. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting. Welcome to the BII Silvergate Hotel. Meet Amelia Collins. She's an ordinary girl from an ordinary middle-class family. Growing up, she saw her parents struggling with money, trying to save every penny, having to choose between want and necessity. Amelia managed to enroll into college on a student loan. She graduated, got her diploma, which was all awesome, if the huge debt she was still paying off wasn't considered. Nonetheless, Amelia was grateful for everything she had, but she was also absolutely frustrated with this middle-class life. So, she decided she would come up with a plan to change her fate forever. I'm going to become rich by marrying a rich guy. And the first step to finding her millionaire husband was to search at the right place. Luckily, Amelia worked at the BII Silvergate Hotel in Honolulu, Hawaii, where many rich folk booked in on their vacation. Here you go, sir, the key to your suite. A business tycoon, on vacation, staying in a luxurious suite? He's perfect. Isn't he a bit too old? Laura, no millionaire is too old for any young woman. Amelia hurried off to catch up with the old rich man. Hello, my name is Amelia Collins. I'm the manager here. Do you need help with anything, Mr. Xavier Milford? I own the Milford Corp. Huge, huge company. Investing millions, making millions. Yes, Now I'd love to talk to you, but I actually have a few business partners joining me for dinner. Can you arrange me a reservation at the lounge? Sure, Mr. Milford. Amelia watched as Mr. Milford walked off onto the elevator, already imagining her future with him. He would probably die soon after the marriage, and then she'll be the one saying, Milford & Collins Corp. Huge, huge company. Investing millions, making millions. That would be fun. The reservations and dinner went great, and Mr. Milford looked satisfied with the service. Great. Step 2. Complimentary wine and chocolates. But when Amelia made her way to his suite, she found the door open and the hotel cleaners on the run. As she walked by to catch a glimpse, she suddenly got a whiff of something. Oh, what's that smell? Did he just... No, I can't do this. He is a bit too old. After that wonderful experience, Amelia thought maybe she should go for someone that still had a bit of bowel strength left in him. And she soon found him too. He's even a little handsome. Time for business, Laura. Hey, wait, be careful, okay? He's not your ordinary guy, he's a politician. Laura, thou shalt never doubt the righteousness of a millionaire politician. If things sparked from here, maybe someday Amelia could even be the First Lady. But her dreams were soon spoiled when she met Victoria on night 1. I'm here to meet Derek Patterson. And Angela on night 2. I'm here for Derek Patterson. And Jennifer on night 3. Let me guess, Derek Patterson? Jennifer, you're looking gorgeous. Amelia turned to see Derek walk down the lobby, grinning at yet another one of his escorts. But this time, he looked at Amelia too. Hello, beautiful. I've been noticing you for the past few days. Why don't you join us tonight? Amelia suddenly felt nervous. No, this guy was too cunning, and from what it seemed, involved in some dirty business. Pass. I'm sorry, sir, I'll be quite busy on the job tonight. Will I ever find my millionaire Prince Charming? Amelia was running out of hope when a few days later, she thought she found the perfect, innocent, sweet millionaire. Hey there, sweetheart, you want an autograph? Sure. No, that's actually the bill. Amelia was settled. This was it. This was the guy. He was the pop star Austin Fever. Amelia couldn't sing, and she didn't have a good voice either. But there was still auto-tune. Maybe one day she could make her own music video with him. She'd be a celebrity. No, you can't be serious. Isn't he a little too young for you? And stupid? You know what he did, right? FYI, we make a cute couple. And what did he do? He spent $100,000 buying a ridiculous diamond Batarang locket, which he brags about too. Laura, thou shalt not disapprove it of a millionaire because of their stupidity. Call an ambulance. I think we'll need to take him to the hospital. Amelia was thundered when she saw Fever's condition the following evening. What happened to him? A little accident. He went on a scavenger hunt by the shore and he picked up something thinking it was a cacao bean and ate it. It turned out to be a dog excrement. He ate dog poop? Don't look at me, I told you. Amelia's days were running out. She was going to turn 50 in only about 25 years. Was this the end? Amelia was drifting off in her thoughts, hanging around the reception, when one of the hotel staff rushed to her. Amelia, I think there's an issue with this guy in the dining hall. All right, let's go. Wait, is he a millionaire? No, he's actually struggling to pay his bills. Why? Amelia sighed. Of course he is. That's my luck. Amelia walked into the hotel's dining hall when she spotted a young man searching his pockets, looking a bit tensed. There he is. I'll handle it. She walked up to him. Excuse me, mister. Yes, just 1 minute, he said, still scrambling through his jacket for a miraculous pot of gold. When he passed a glance at Amelia and suddenly froze. You don't have money, do you? She whispered. Embarrassed, the young man chuckled. Yeah, I'm short on cash. I understand. Let me see what I can do. Come with me. The young man followed after Amelia as she went behind the register and swiped her own card. She ripped off the receipt and handed it to him. I don't know how to thank you. Well, for one, you better pay it off someday. I'm not a millionaire. Well, not yet. Haven't yet found the Mr. Right millionaire, she said with a chuckle as they both walked out to the lobby. What's your name? It's Sebastian. I'm Amelia. So tell me, what exactly is your situation? What are you doing here? Well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm here with my boss on his business trip. He didn't even book me a room. He's a millionaire, but he's very miser. So he can book himself a luxury suite, but he can't get you a room? This is how these rich people become rich. On our money. It's alright, I'll manage in the lobby. It's only a couple of days. You know, this is exactly why I decided I'm going to marry a rich man, become rich and never have to worry about money ever again. Sebastian chuckled. What? So ordinary poor guys like us don't have a chance? Absolutely not. Now, I have to get back to work. I'll see you around. Amelia waved goodbye to Sebastian and went on with her daily routine. It was around 12 a.m. on her lunch break that she passed by the lobby again and really found him sitting there. Still here? What kind of boss do you have? You know my situation. Why don't you come with me? Amelia dropped by the hotel storage where she grabbed a bag before she took Sebastian all the way to the hotel's roof. What's that? This is my midnight snack, and this is a tent, so you can stay here for the night, but be sure to pack everything before it's morning. Really? Thanks so much. Come on, let's have this together. Amelia and Sebastian stood by the railing, viewing the beautiful island below. I usually come here during my break. It's nice, isn't it? Yeah, but it could use a bit of salt. Well, thank you, I made it myself. Amelia's break was over sooner than she knew it. She hurried to gather her things and headed downstairs, but just before she went, by the way, I practically gave you an entire ocean view room. But if the authorities find out, it's all on you. You did the whole thing. I can't lose my job because of you. Got it. It was from that night that Amelia and Sebastian started meeting on the rooftop, sharing her lunch and having a talk. Tell me again, why do you even work for him? My dad used to work and he owed him some money, so I really don't have a choice. I have to. These are powerful people we're talking about. So, how is your family? My mother lives on her own. My father passed away, but even when he was alive, I didn't really get to bond with him. He was always busy with work. He rarely ever made time for me. It happens. I grew up a bit deprived from my parents too, but you get over it eventually. By the way, I wanted to thank you. I've been so busy with work and looking for a millionaire. It's nice hanging out with a friend for a change. So you think of me as a friend? Yeah, but that doesn't excuse you from paying me off the money you owe me. Of course, I'm going to pay you off. On the third night, when Amelia found Sebastian still sitting around at the lobby, she let out a deep breath. Let's go, mister. How long will your boss be here? If things go as planned, I'll actually be leaving tomorrow. Sebastian took out an envelope and handed it to her. This belongs to you. What's this? My boss had yet to pay me 2 months' salary, so I requested him and he considered giving me this. Amelia opened up the envelope, awfully embarrassed to see money inside. Sebastian, I was only joking. You probably need this more than I do. You keep it. What are friends for? Sebastian looked at Amelia. Is there really no chance for someone like me in your life? Amelia shook her head. You know it already. I'm only going to marry a millionaire. But I think I've fallen in love with you. Sebastian, just think about it. You know your situation, and I'm not in a good position either. If we date, maybe someday we'll get married. I still have thousands to pay off for my student loan. You're still paying off your father's loan, and then we might have kids. What kind of future will we give them? And, most importantly, if I break up with you and marry a millionaire, you know how possessive they can be. What if he tries to hunt you down? What if he hunts down all my exes? I don't want to put you through the trouble. Amelia chuckled. But Sebastian looked straight into her eyes. He didn't smile, he didn't laugh. He just simply said, but I'm willing to take the chance. Amelia sighed as she picked up her things. I'm sorry, Sebastian. It's getting late. I should get going. What happened? He proposed, and Amelia, I can't believe you. Why did you break his heart? He was such a nice guy. You totally missed out. You have to stop this rich man hunt. Nothing can buy love. No, you can buy love, but it's just not possible on his salary. But as much as Amelia wanted to stay in denial, as the night went by, she realized all she was thinking about was Sebastian. Did she really feel for him too? Was Laura right? Maybe she did. No, she didn't. She couldn't. She wouldn't. Oh, who was she kidding? There were certain things that were more valuable than having a nice house and a fancy car, and if Amelia didn't stop Sebastian, perhaps after tomorrow, they would never meet again. So the next evening, when she arrived to work, she sent him a text. Meet me on the roof before my shift starts. I'm busy. I'm with my boss. Meet me in 5 minutes. Amelia waited anxiously for Sebastian to be there, and the minute she heard the door open, she let out a breath of relief. He was here. I thought about last night. And? Okay, let's try. We can make it work. I'm making a decent amount of money. I have $20K to pay off. How much does your dad owe? We'll manage, but you should leave your horrible job. And in the mean, I'll take care of everything. Yeah, you'll have to. I'm running out of my savings. Don't worry, I'll help you find a better job. You at least graduated college, right? No, I actually dropped out in my sophomore year. Well, things will pull through eventually. In 20 or 30 years, our loans will be paid off. But if anything, before you quit that horrible job, I'll try my best to get you the money that stingy millionaire owes you. How are you going to do that? He doesn't just talk to anyone. Oh, he has to listen to me. Where is he? Take me to him. Alright, if you want to take your chances. Sebastian took Amelia all the way to suite 709. She walked in staring at an old man sitting by the window on the rocking chair, looking at her confused. Excuse me, Mr. What's his name? She said, looking back at Sebastian. Sir Frederick Woodhouse, Sebastian said under his breath. Frederick Woodhouse. If you don't pay off his money immediately, I will drag you to court. Woodhouse stood up, raising his brow at Amelia. Excuse? You don't know the big people I know. You don't know the big corporate lawyers I know. I'll hire them all just to sue you. I know how you treat your employees. I'll spill the secrets. Your company will come crumbling down. You don't want to mess with me. Woodhouse turned to gaze at Sebastian. Don't look at him. I'm speaking with you. Master Edward, do I owe something to you? No, Frederick. Everything is fine. Amelia furrowed her brows. Master Edward? That's when she suddenly realized who Sebastian was. She had seen the register. This room was booked by an Edward Hoffman. You're Edward Hoffman. That day at the hotel's dining hall, Edward had forgotten his wallet and his phone in the room. When he called the waiters, they all began to suppose he was frauding them. And later when Amelia saw him searching for cash, she too thought the same. You don't have money, do you? But when Edward saw her for the first time, he couldn't take his eyes off of her. She was so beautiful, and she turned out to be so nice too. Edward wanted to get to know her, but when they actually spoke, the first things she said were about money, millionaires and money. So Edward decided not to tell her who he was. Not to tell her that he created the most innovative computer software and had become a self-made millionaire. He had a feeling she would say yes either way, because deep down inside, Amelia wasn't like that. Yes, I am, but Sebastian's my middle name, and this is my butler. Frederick, this is Amelia. Good evening, Miss Amelia. Amelia furiously stormed out the door. Amelia, wait! If you want, I can write everything off to Woodhouse. We can move out of the mansion. I'll even move in with you. We can live on your salary. Amelia! Amelia! Finally, a millionaire found Amelia. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting. Sometime later, he woke up startled, hearing a loud knock on the front door. He got up confused when the knocking soon turned to a banging sound. The rain was so heavy outside, it was so late at night, who could it be? Aiden hurried out to the hall when suddenly his heart began to race when he heard a muffled voice from outside. Open the door! Aiden! Open the door, please! Aiden was thundered to hear Catherine's voice. He ran to open the door. see her crying out in the rain. "Catherine, is that really you?" Catherine cried uncontrollably. She started to cough. She held her throat, her chest, as if she were suffocating. "Aiden, help me. I can't breathe. Let me in." "Come in, the door is open." "I can't, Aiden. Please help me." Aiden was frightened seeing Catherine's state. It was as if she were banging on an invisible barrier between them. She wasn't able to come inside. Aiden put out his hand to grab hers, when suddenly he heard a loud roar of thunder. Aiden woke up, all alone, anxious, his heart throbbing in his chest, sweat trickling down his face. Was that all a dream? No, it couldn't be just a dream. It must have some meaning. Was Catherine calling out to him? Aiden had an eerie feeling something wasn't right. His instincts told him Catherine wasn't dead. She was alive. She needed his help. Aiden and Catherine Doyle have been happily married for a couple of years now. Together, they bought a small home and settled in Leeds, England, where they were progressing in their lives. Everything about their relationship was picture perfect, except for one thing. Catherine's family wasn't happy with their marriage. It was about 4 years ago when Aiden moved to Leeds from home in Southern Ireland to pursue higher studies. When he began attending the BII Academy, he was introduced to Catherine. Though both Aiden and Catherine had different majors, they had 2 classes in common: English and statistics. It was almost at first sight that Aiden had become attracted to her. She was beautiful and smart. "Hello, I'm Aiden." "Yes, I've heard of you." Aiden had noticed Catherine always tried to keep her distance from him. She was friendly towards others, but when it came to Aiden, she was rather impolite. Aiden didn't understand why she was like that towards him. He had never done anything to offend or upset her. It wasn't until the day of their exam that things turned around. Catherine and Aiden had been sitting a seat apart from each other. It was in the middle of the exam that Aiden noticed Catherine a bit nervous. She kept shaking her scientific calculator trying to make it work, but it wasn't working. Aiden simply slid his calculator down the table towards her. "I'm finished. Keep it with you. You can return it to me later." That day, Catherine had felt a little ashamed for the way she had treated him before. Aiden had always been nice to her. She thought she would fail the exam. No one was going to lend her their calculator at that time. But Aiden trusted his to her, whereas when he tried to befriend her, she always made him feel like a stranger. "Aiden, thanks for your calculator." "No problem. Would you mind if I sit with you?" And everything started from there, from friendship to love. But it was after they started dating that Aiden realized why Catherine might have struggled to befriend him. Her family didn't like him, and the only reason was because he was from Southern Ireland. A year into their relationship, when they got married, even though they didn't cut off relations with her, none but a distant uncle of hers had arrived to their wedding. Nonetheless, they got married, and they had been together for 3 years now. It was a typical evening in the Doyle household. Aiden was relaxing on the couch when his wife sat down beside him, looking through their mail. "What's this? An invitation to Rose's wedding?" "They invited us. This is great, Aiden. You have to take off on next Friday. It's my cousin's marriage. We have to go." Aiden furrowed his brows looking at the card. "No way. I'm not going through that again." "What do you mean?" Have you conveniently forgotten what has happened so far? Your family can't stand me. None of them came to our wedding. They didn't even wish us after our marriage, but we still sent them all gifts, but some of them even returned it back. And if that wasn't insulting enough, what happened the day of your sister's baby's sacrament? How did your mother behave? Catherine, why did you bring him here? You know he belongs to a different church. But Mom, he's my husband. That day at the church, all of Catherine's relatives had been murmuring to each other, passing Aiden looks. Not a single person had called him to sit with them. And later, they pulled Catherine away to join the child's sacrament, while Aiden sat there all alone. Catherine sighed. Aiden, that was something else, and this is my cousin's marriage. We grew up together. We've always been close. I have to go. I've already decided, Catherine, we're not going. No, we are going. So you're going to go without me. How will your relatives react when they see you went without your husband? I'll just say you couldn't make the time. And what if I forbid you to go? Catherine chuckled. And what will you do, husband? You're going to tie me down and lock the door? Or you're going to take me with you to your office? Aiden was furious. How could she be so stubborn? In a rage, he left Catherine be. If his words had no meaning to her, then he didn't find a reason to talk to her. The next 2 days went by in which Aiden hadn't spoken a word to Catherine. Sweetheart, I know you can hear me. I left your breakfast on the table. It's getting cold. Sweetheart, I ironed your shirt. It's on the bed. Catherine had tried everything to get him to reply to her, but Aiden was firm. Come the day of the wedding, Aiden thought she would change her mind, but that morning, she got ready and came to him. Aiden, I'm going to the wedding. I'll try to be back by 10. I kept dinner in the fridge. Please don't go to bed without eating. And don't just eat it like that. Heat it up first. Aiden silently left, trying to hold back the anger. Even at the office, he was so frustrated. The simplest things, organizing some papers or finding a pen, tipped him off. What's wrong, man? Why are you upset? It's nothing. My wife is going to her cousin's wedding without me. Oh, your in-law issues. They invited her without you? No, they invited me, but I don't want to go. You know what happened the last time I went. You're upset because of this? Man, at least your wife gave you the choice to stay back. If it was my wife, I wouldn't have had the choice. When we were dating, she was so soft, polite, and nice, but after marriage, she's become my boss, as if I work for her. I have to do whatever she says. No, man, how could she go without him? Even my wife is my boss, but his situation is different from us. His in-laws has problems with him. His wife should have took a side. Aiden sighed as he listened to his colleagues. They were right. How could she just leave him and go? Didn't she love him? How could she go over there and spend good time with them when they insulted him, humiliated him? It was like she didn't care about him at all. The more Aiden thought about what happened, the more enraged he became. After all this, Aiden wasn't going to let her win. This was about his respect. It was time he stand up for himself. Catherine had told him she would be home by 10, so Aiden intentionally returned home much later than that, at midnight. But when he entered the house, he was surprised to find it empty. She hadn't come home yet? All of a sudden, Aiden became a little concerned. Had something happened over there? Was someone going to drop her off? Was she coming home alone at this time of the night? Aiden started to regret allowing her to go on her own. Or was she not coming home at all tonight? He walked to the kitchen and opened up the fridge. He took out the box Catherine left for him. Wow, she made his favorite, lasagna. Well, why punish myself for her? So Aiden freshened up, heated up the food, and was enjoying his dinner when he received a call from an unknown number. He picked up to hear a familiar voice. It was Catherine's brother. "Aiden, it's David. If your sister isn't going to come tonight, she should have called herself." "Aiden, Catherine's in the hospital. It got so late, so I was coming to drop her off, but we got into a car accident. We're all at the hospital now. You need to come." As soon as Aiden heard what happened, he dropped the phone and ran out to his car. The drive to the hospital was nerve-wracking. What happened with her? Was she okay? Where is she? There, the doctor said she's in a coma. On request, Aiden was permitted to see his wife. But Catherine lay there motionless, unable to say a word to him. "Catherine, can you hear me? Speak to me. Open your eyes or move your finger. Catherine." Aiden was devastated when a few hours later, doctors informed them Catherine was no more. The following evening, Aiden and Catherine's family arranged for a funeral. Everyone was so heavy-hearted to say a word, and so was Aiden. He stood by her grave as her coffin was lowered down, unable to hold back the tears. Heartbroken and shattered, Aiden returned to his now quiet home, feeling so incomplete. He went to the kitchen to grab a glass of water. He was feeling hungry. But now, she wasn't here. There was no food. He opened the fridge, staring at the box of lasagna from the night before. It was the last of her cooking. If he ate this last meal, it would be the last time he'd taste her food. Sometime around midnight, the thunder began to rumble outside, and the rain soon started to pour heavily over the roof. Unable to eat in all the grief, Aiden sat down on his couch all alone, staring at her picture hung up on the wall. He was overcome by regret and guilt. Perhaps if he had gone, none of this would have happened the way it did. Perhaps if he wasn't so stubborn, he could have spoken his last words with her. He was exhausted, but the memories with Catherine haunted him. He was unable to sleep, constantly questioning the last moments he spent with her. Now in the pin-drop silent house, listening to the sound of the droplets on the roof, Aiden finally dozed off. But sometime later, he woke up startled, hearing a loud knock on the front door. He got up confused when the knocking soon turned to a banging sound. The rain was so heavy outside, it was so late at night, who could it be? Aiden hurried out to the hall when suddenly, his heart began to race when he heard a muffled voice from outside. "Open the door! Aiden! Open the door, please!" Aiden was thundered to hear Catherine's voice. He ran to open the door, to see her crying out in the rain. "Catherine, is that really you?" Catherine cried uncontrollably. She started to cough. She held her throat, her chest, as if she were suffocating. "Aiden, help me. I can't breathe. Let me in." "Come in, the door is open." "I can't, Aiden. Please help me." Aiden was frightened seeing Catherine's state. It was as if she were banging on an invisible barrier between them. She wasn't able to come inside. Aiden put out his hand to grab hers, when suddenly he heard a loud roar of thunder. Aiden woke up, all alone, anxious, his heart throbbing in his chest, sweat trickling down his face. Was that all a dream? No, it couldn't be just a dream. It must have some meaning. Was Catherine calling out to him? Aiden had an eerie feeling something wasn't right. His instincts told him Catherine wasn't dead. She was alive. She needed his help. Aiden wasted no time. In the pouring rain, he drove out to the funeral home. "Mr. Doyle, you're here at this time?" "You have to exhume Catherine Doyle's grave. She's still alive." "I'm sorry, Mr. Doyle, we can't do that." No, you have to dig the grave. I know she's alive. It was a wrong burial. She never died. Mr. Doyle, try to calm down. Losing a loved one can be difficult, but your wife, she's no more. When the sexton refused to listen to Aidan, he barged out into the cemetery, where he found a shovel from the worker's shed. As he walked to Catherine's grave, he could see the security coming after him. "Sir, you can't do this! Sir, stop!" As they neared him, Aidan turned around with the shovel and yelled at them, "If you come anywhere near me, I will not hesitate to break every limb of yours." Seeing Aidan, the men knew they wouldn't be able to overpower him, so they ran back to call the police while Aidan began digging Catherine's grave. He gave all his might, not stopping a second till he uncovered the coffin, dropped his shovel, and opened the casket. The sexton arrived with a few more guards, all frozen shock upon what they saw. Aidan stooped down to his knees in front of his wife's body. Now lifeless and pale, her fingers bled out, her nails torn off from trying to call for help, trying to escape this confinement. The door of the casket was covered in scratches, and a letter scratched out to none other than Aidan. "Aidan, I don't know if you'll ever come to know what happened to me, or if you'll ever read this note, but if that day ever comes, I want you to know I really loved you with all my heart and soul. Don't misunderstand me. I knew my family never accepted you, but believe me, deep down inside, it hurt me too. My family had always been loving to me. They raised me with care and affection. They aren't bad people. I always wanted them to see the goodness I saw in you and overcome whatever hatred they had for you. I wanted you to receive the love and compassion I received from my family. I wanted us all to get along and be together. But perhaps it was never meant to be. But no matter how anyone feels about you, I've always loved you, and I'll always love you." Aidan read the letter, his eyes teared up. He allowed his anger to overcome him. Catherine had always understood him, but it was him who didn't consider what she felt. If there was anyone who truly loved him, it was Catherine. He stayed there in the rain, crying profusely. Suddenly, he noticed Catherine's dress move. He looked at her, her eyes flinching to the droplets of rain that soaked her face. "She's alive! She's alive! Call an ambulance!" Catherine woke up in the hospital, her fingers all bandaged. She turned to see Aidan sitting beside her. "You finally woke up." "What took you so long?" "I'm never going to leave you alone again." Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.